All right, welcome to Tommy Knows Best Sports Podcast. Today, I'm going live, and I have a guest, and his name is Big Dave. Big Dave, you sing karaoke at O'Neill's and all the other karaoke places in the North Shore. That's what he's well known for. He's a karaoke singer, but he also knows his sports. And obviously, he's coming on the podcast, and we're going to talk about the Red Sox. We're going to start out with the Red Sox. How you like your baseball team, Dave?
Well, after the first game, I wasn't too high on them, but now they've won. They've won 2 out of 3. Won that first opening series with against the Orioles.
Yeah.
And you could say the offense is certainly clicking along pretty well, which I didn't expect. But the pitching needs work.
Yeah.
You can't rely on Chris Sale.
No.
Anything you get from Chris Sale is gravy. So, but you can't be leaning on him to be your ace. And right now, I'm not sure the team has one. Tanner Houck looked good as a starter. And we'll see how Bayo does this year.
Yeah.
But I still think you need one more frontline guy.
What do you think about their hitting, though? The hitting. I hear the hitting's good and the pitching's bad.
Yeah. So, 27 runs across 3 games.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
So, but I don't know, if you can keep that up, because, you played the Orioles. Now you got the series with the Pirates, and, they're not any good. They lost 100 games last year.
And what do you think about the pitching clock, that they're using the pitching clock now? But it seems like the Red Sox games have been taking 3 hours the past couple of days. 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Funny how that works out, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Where is the pitching clock? Where is the pitching clock on my baseball heads that follow it, like Dave, like Big Dave? Where's the pitching clock? It seems like they haven't used it at Fenway Park.
They did when they rung up
Devers.
Yeah, Devers for not being ready.
Yeah, he wasn't being ready, and he got rung up, and he got mad and says, there was no clock on it, and they didn't use it. They didn't show it. They didn't show it at all.
They do need to make it more visible. I want to see it, right there in that immediate backdrop right behind home plate.
Yeah.
And I want it to be big, like the shot clock in basketball.
Yeah.
I want to see it, and there should be one probably in the batter's eye so the batter can see it too.
Uh-huh.
So, it's the first season, so give it some time. I think.
What do you think about this team? How do you think they're going to be this year? How do you think the Red Sox are going to be? Are they going to be underachieving or overachieving at times this year?
If they're 500 to end the season, that's where I expect them to be.
How many wins you want? How many wins do you think they could get, this team?
Well, so that's 81 and 81.
Yeah, so you want them to get 81 wins. That's
Well, no. What do I want them to get? Yeah. What do I think they're going to get?
What do you think their record's going to be?
I think their record's going to be about 500.
500. How about 500? You think Chaim Bloom's the real guy here? No, because I'm not a big Chaim Bloom guy, because he messed up a lot of things. He let our best player go and kept one of our best players.
Yep.
But he's going to be done soon enough, right? Maybe. Rafi Devers, you think he'll be done anytime soon? If he wanted to call it quits with them? If he gets frustrated and they don't get any more talent? Because that's what they don't have, is talent.
Right. Well, we'll see. I'm sure he's more than happy to cash the checks. So.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like Trevor Story, he wasn't playing because he's hurt.
Yep.
And it seems like who was playing in us? Shortstop, his position?
Some guy.
Yeah, some guys. We don't even know half of that.
Some guy. That's not Xander Bogaerts.
We don't even know half of our roster. Half of the roster is a bunch of nobodies. And we need a really, really good season with Chris Sale, because Chris Sale, this is the season where he has to prove himself.
He's not.
And he's not going to prove himself. He's fragile. He can't stay healthy. And he's a mess.
Yep.
Guy's a loose cannon. He didn't even start our opening day because it was his birthday. The birthday boy didn't start on his birthday. Right, Dave? He didn't start.
I go to work on my birthday.
Oh, yeah, you go to work on your birthday. Everyone has a job. Everyone goes to work on their birthdays. Not Chris Sale. He took the day off. And Corey Kluber pitched. Don't get me started on that, but I did get started on that. Damn, Chris Sale. All right.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I didn't have a problem with Kluber starting because he was, but you know, now I could say hindsight's 2020 and being that he wasn't very good, but he was better than Chris Sale. I mean, giving up, Sale gave up 7 earned runs in 3 innings. Come on,
Yeah.
come on, dude, against Baltimore.
I know, against a Baltimore team that's really not that good.
No,
not good at all. Not good at all.
One thing to keep in mind about the way the AL East shaped up last season, is all those teams had good records because the Red Sox sucked.
Oh, I love that. I love that hot take from you, Big Dave. I love that hot take from you.
Yes. So.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's transition to the next topic. I'm done talking about the baseball team because it doesn't seem like, to me, they're this above 500 team. We're gonna jump into the Celtics now because you're a big hoops guy.
Yep.
We're gonna talk Celtics right now. And how do you think they've been playing lately? Because lately they were playing up and down, but they lost to the Wizards and they won 2 back-to-back games. And the game that they needed was that Milwaukee Bucks game, and they beat them 140-99.
They're playing like they feel as if they can switch it on and off whenever they want. And that does not bode well for the playoffs.
No, it does not bode well in the playoffs at all.
And I'm really disappointed that they kind of gave that game away, the one right before the Bucks game.
Oh, yeah, that was the Washington Wizards game on last Tuesday night.
Yeah, and you want home field advantage, home court advantage against your opponents in the playoffs?
Yeah, you do. You want home court. Home court's very important, and home court, home ice, home field is very important in the playoffs.
Right. So
and that's very. And it doesn't seem like the Celtics don't want home court for some reason. And sometimes it seems like they play up and down to their chemistry and to their opponents. But when this team is on, they're on. They have the highest ceiling, and the highest ceiling of this team is an NBA championship team. This team has an NBA championship written over them right now. The way they could play.
They play like they want things given to them rather than them having to go out and earn it.
Yeah.
And you got to earn a championship. It's not handed to you.
What do you think about Jason Tatum? How his game playing is?
He's a very talented player. I'm not sure he's a leader.
You don't think he's a leader?
He's going to have to show it.
Who's the leader on the Celtics right now? Who do you think leads this team?
I don't know. I mean, there are guys that want to be leaders.
How about Marcus Smart?
I think Marcus Smart wants to be a leader, but he's not the most talented guy on the team.
No, he's not the most talented guy. Is right.
I think Jaylen Brown would want to be a leader, but he's, number 2 or 1A behind Tatum.
I know.
Tatum's the best guy on the court.
And he's requesting trades and stuff. He wanted to get a trade out of here. He said he could run his own team. You think Jaylen Brown can run his own team if he left Boston?
Depends on the team.
Let's say if it was the New York Knicks. If you think he could run his team,
I'm sure he could, but I mean the Knicks haven't done anything for 45 years. So
and it's now the Celtics play again tomorrow night, another big game, and they're at Philly, and that's another big one.
Yep.
Joel Embiid and James Harden and Tobias or something like that.
Yeah, and they play the Celtics hard, so
they always play the Celtics hard, and that's going to be a tough game. And we need Rob Williams to stay healthy, and it seems like he's the key factor of this team. If they want to win a championship, you got to keep Rob Williams' minutes good. You got to keep him good. You got to rest him sometimes here and there, but play him in the playoffs. Stop resting him now so he can be good to go in the playoffs.
But don't rest him too much because you want him to be ready to go.
We want him to be ready to go when the big guns come out and play, when the big boys come out and play. And who do you would like to see them play in the first round? Would you think they'll match well against Miami or the Atlanta Hawks?
Atlanta always plays us good.
Yeah.
So I would go with Miami.
So does Miami, though. They play us good. They played us good last year in the Eastern Conference Final. They took us to Game 7, and oh boy, the Celtics could have coughed that up if what's his face didn't hit that 3. Al Horford. They were trying to blow that Game 7, and they could have could have been packing up their bags and going home right there.
But also I don't get too caught up into who do you want to face first in the playoffs. Get yourself the highest seed you can get and let things shake out from there.
Yes. What do you who do you think would give them a problem in the NBA NBA finals? What team would give them a problem in the finals if they got to the finals? Golden State if they got there.
Of course,
again.
Yes.
Golden State already said they already told the Celtics, you ain't beating us. We your daddies, we own you.
Yep.
So Golden State does own the Celtics and have that up advantage. Do you think they could beat the Denver Nuggets in the finals or or the Sacramento Kings or any of those teams that are kind of dislike them, but that are good too? They have superstars, but all these teams just gonna keep playing good, and that will show you who will go to the finals. And the Celtics just gotta keep playing the way they are. It seems like Marcus Smart sometimes could be the problem to me. He irritates me. Marcus Smart once in a while. He irritates me when he tries to force those threes once in a while, going back to the way he was playing before with Brad Stevens. And then you got Grant Williams bitching and yelling. I could say that. Bitching and yelling and getting mad at the refs and want things his way, and he's getting benched and he's getting this and he's getting that. He's getting fed up with Missoula, and Missoula's getting mad at him. He's been in the doghouse. Oh yeah, the coaching doghouse.
Yeah.
Grant Williams. And he wanted to trade at one point. You think he's well enough to get traded after this year if he did?
Grant Williams?
Yeah.
He's a guy. So I mean if he wants to get traded, go ahead and trade him.
Same thing with Peyton Pritchard, another one that was out crying about a trade clause too this year. He wanted to get traded too. Another one that doesn't get a lot of playing time. And Hauser, you like Hauser? Sam Hauser?
They're all just guys.
Yeah.
It's Tatum, it's Brown, it's Smart, it's Horford, it's Williams, and then it's a bunch of guys.
I like Brogdon. Brogdon was a key signing here.
Yep.
Was the key signing. He's clutch with this team. And same thing with Derek White last year after the trade deadline. Derek White's another clutch guy.
I like him too. And I like Grant Williams, but I mean, all these guys start whining about stuff.
Yes, because they're getting their playing time taken away. And it seems like in the fourth quarter in the past few games, Derek White was getting taken out and Marcus Smart was getting more of the playing time over him. It seems like they have that. They have like a couple of guys that like kind of get aggravated. And Marcus Smart's one of them because obviously you have to cater to him.
Yeah.
He was a DPOY last year, Defensive Player of the Year. And you got Malcolm Brogdon and you got you got Derek White, and they prefer to play Marcus Smart over them. But I say Derek White and Brogdon are way better than Marcus Smart. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Everyone else has their opinions. Drop into some comments. We'll answer these. And what do you guys all think about the Celtics in the playoffs? What do you think about them going far, winning the championship? They get all the talent. The ceiling's very high for this team. Very high, right? All right. We're going to jump into our next topic, and we're going to talk about the Bruins. And you watched the games this past weekend.
Yes, yesterday's game. Yeah.
Yesterday's game, and they won back-to-back games, and they had...
Well, they almost blew it. They almost blew it yesterday.
They almost blew it. But they won in a shootout 4-3. Thank God they won. This Bruins team is playing unbelievable this year, Dave.
Yep.
And they're breaking records. Last night they got 60 points, and they're on pace of breaking the Montreal Canadiens record, the 1976 Montreal Canadiens, 1977 record.
Yep.
And this is unbelievable. And they have 5 games to do it left, I think, to break that record. What do you think? Can they break it?
If they win 3 out of the 5, they break it. So that'll be pretty cool. But I'm going to give you a caveat.
What?
They better not blow it in the postseason.
No, they better not blow it. We know that
because nobody's going to care if they blow it.
We know the Bruins' history when it comes to the postseason, when it comes to the playoffs. If you're a true Bruins fan, if you have that in the back of your mind, like me and Big Dave, we have it in the back of our minds that the Bruins could blow it in the playoffs. But I don't want to see this team to blow it. They have all the talent. This rate, the Celtics. And they have all the pieces, and it seems like it's working, breaking records. And it seems like the Bruins are getting Taylor Hall back and Nick Foligno back right before the playoffs start. And I kind of want to see. This was a good take I was listening to last night on one of the sports shows on Sunday night on one of the local sports channels. And Ty Anderson, a hockey expert from 98.5 The Sports Hub, he said he wants to see Taylor Hall play on that third line with Tyler Bertuzzi, Charlie Coyo, and I kind of want to see that actually right before the playoffs to see where you can get clicking on that third line with those three, with Taylor Hall, Bertuzzi, and Coyo. Drop into some comments. That's all my hockey heads. And this is one of my friends actually that commented, and I seen his comment from a couple segments before. Beer League Hero. Yes, that was you that was beeping yesterday. Nice that was you, Beer League Hero. Driving inland. I was actually coming back from actually going to Dunkin' Donuts, getting a coffee. I needed my Dunkin' Donuts. But anyways, we're gonna go back to the Bruins. Talk about them. Talk about the goaltenders now. What do you think about the goaltenders? Because people are saying there could be a goaltender controversy in the playoffs. Who should start? And I say Omar's the starter until he blows it.
Right.
And you give it to Swayman.
Yep.
We have good two goaltenders in the league. This team is unbelievable. Omar is going to win the Vezina. He's on the pace to win the Vezina. And the Bruins seem like they're going to win this President's Cup. They need they have 5 games left to break the record.
Well, they already locked up the President's Cup.
They locked it up. They clinched it. They clinched the playoffs. They clinched everything. Basically, they're not playing for nothing, but they kind of want to break that record.
And let's not forget what happened the last time they won the President's Cup.
They got bounced in one of the first rounds of the playoffs. But all these teams that get bounced in the first round in the playoffs, it seems like there's a urge to that. And the only one team that never got bounced in the first round of the playoffs was the 2013 Chicago Blackhawks. I don't even want to talk about that. That team beat us in the Stanley Cup and put up that trophy and hoisted that.
Yep.
Patrick Kane, that SOB, that son of a bitch. Him and the Chicago Blackhawks hoisting that trophy. The Bruins, they can win the Cup. I want to see this team win the Cup. They're playing good for the first time with this head coach, Jim Montgomery. I wasn't expecting this at all this year. I thought they were going to be, all right, a new coach. Certain players came back. Bergeron and David Krejci, they came back, and I'm happy that they came back. They wanted to came back. Some of these young players in them, they weren't a big fan of Cassidy. It seemed like Bruce Cassidy drove these players crazy. And
I liked him. I don't know.
I liked him too. It seems like they kind of did Cassidy dirty, but at the same time, they made up for it. And I like Jim Montgomery, what he's doing with this team and how they're playing for him, how the young kids like him, how Jake DeBrusk is one of the young kids that likes him. Trent Frederick scoring goals. Unbelievable. This team is deep, and they have all the depth on the roster, just like the Celtics, deep in depth. Both teams should win championships. There's no excuses if they blow it. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. All right.
We need another parade.
Yes.
We're counting on the Bruins to bring us another parade.
Yes.
Don't blow it.
Don't blow it. We're going to jump into the next topic, and it's about the Patriots. And it seems like Robert Kraft was throwing some shots at Bill Belichick last week at some meetings and stuff and press conferences because Lamar Jackson's out there, free agent, and there's still a couple more free agents still out there. And what is the Patriots doing not getting any of these guys? I want Lamar. You think you want Lamar Jackson to come here, move on from Mac Jones, and bring in Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson would be good in the short term. I worry about the long term.
Yeah.
Because that style of play that he plays, well, once he starts getting, really hurt, because I'm not sure how, he was hurt a bit going into the playoffs this last season. In the long term, once he starts losing his ability to run, can he make up for it by throwing? I don't know. So,
what do you think about Hopkins or Jerry Judy coming here? We need to get one of those guys. One of those
well,
top
Jerry
wide
Judy, I was looking
receivers.
forward to. I was hoping the Patriots would sign him, and but apparently they passed on that. Hopkins, I'm not sure what there was previous bad blood between him and O'Brien.
Oh yeah,
from the days in Houston.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, if they can work together well again.
Yeah. With the NFL draft coming up within the next couple of weeks, who would you like to see the Patriots get with their first overall pick in the first round?
I don't know. I don't follow the draft that much.
They need to get
what do you think?
A tackle. We need a tackle, right?
Yeah.
We need a couple offensive line guys. We need a wide receiver, obviously. A number one for Mac that he could trust for the rest of the year. We need that number one. We don't have that number one. Why don't they just go after Hopkins or Judy? Just go after one of those two. Why is Bill being stubborn? And I'm sick of Bill's stubbornness.
Well, me too.
I give him.
It's Bill can talk about the last 25 years, but what have you done for us lately, Bill?
Nothing. He chased the best quarterback out of town.
Yep.
All what he wanted was the money that he wanted, and no, he left. He left, and he went to Tampa Bay, and he proved he could win one in Tampa Bay, and he did, and he retired this past year.
Yep.
Only if we kept this guy right here, TB12, Tom Brady. Only if we kept him, we wouldn't be in this mess right now. Because Bill put them in this mess the past few years, missed the postseason last year, made it the first year with Mac Jones.
And more importantly, Belichick has screwed up the most important year in a new quarterback's development, and that's year 2.
Yes, and he hired 2 clowns, 2 bozos that didn't even do good in their previous jobs.
Well, also here's the thing: if Bill wanted to bring Patricia back last year as defensive coordinator, his old job, no one would have had a problem, would they?
No one would have a problem.
But so he says, "Oh, well, this defensive guy can now coach offense. Give me a break."
Yeah.
And had Belichick brought Judge back to be special teams coach, his old job, no one would have had a problem.
I know. No one would have a problem, but we got into a mess, and that was Belichick's mess, and all he cares about is breaking records.
And propping up his kid.
Yeah, and propping up his kid, Steven Belichick. Don't get me started with him, too. And all he cares about is his kid and friends and bobos of his friends. Belichick is losing it. All he cares about is breaking the records and bringing clowns here to coach. And I don't like that. We're supposed to be going in a good direction, not a bad direction. I give Mac Jones one more year. I give him this year. If he's not good this year, then bye. You got to do something. Fire Bill. Fire him. He's fireable. Give him this year, and he's done.
Yep.
Done with his acting. Done with his shenanigans. All right, but anyways, I'm going to move on to my next topic, and it's the last topic of the podcast before we end this. And tonight there's a big game on, and it's the finals in March Madness, and we got number 5 San Diego State going against number 4 the UConn Huskies, and wow, San Diego State came back and beat FAU, Florida Atlantic. They beat them by a buzzer beater, 72-71. Wow, what a game. And then UConn has been blowing teams out in this tournament. It seems like UConn's like the UConn Huskies is the better team. They're the better team. They're the team that's going to probably – there's the team that's going to
I'll give the edge to UConn.
I do.
Yeah.
I give all the edge to UConn. The UConn Huskies, they have all the bigs. I like, what's his name? Sonogo or something like that, whatever his name is, the big kid. And UConn has all the advantage, the depth and the pieces, and there's no way they should lose this game. And they are -7.5. I looked at it earlier.
Pound it, Tommy. Pound it.
That's what I said on my podcast. Pound it, guys. Pound them. Pound UConn. Take UConn -7.5. There you go. Lock that up. UConn's the lock of the night. Ding, 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 ding. Go UConn Huskies. We're going to end this podcast. And I want to say, Dave, thanks for coming on again. And he's wearing the Tommy Knows Best Sports Podcast shirt that he got last year. All right, guys, I'll see you this week with another podcast. And you guys have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.